start giving the verdict about the doctor getting me sick. I don't know why they wouldn't mind a stinking business. Leave the man in peace. I say, leave the damn doctor. Look, don't get me mad. Leave the damn doctor. Why say, or is murder in Trinidad? Leave the damn doctor. He ain't trouble on you. Leave the damn doctor. Where do you do? Leave the damn doctor. Why say? Leave the damn doctor. Leave me damn doctor. Yes, the other party is there. They can't handle their own affair. They're stumbling with all the plan. Still they're harassing the blasted man. I say, leave me damn doctor. And don't get me mad. Leave me damn doctor. Way, or is murder in Trinidad? Leave me damn doctor. He ain't trouble on you. Leave me damn doctor. Way, or is murder in Trinidad? They're making so much confusion, but race riot in England. They should kick them from Scotland Yard. We have the same question in Trinidad. I say, leave me down, doctor. And don't get me mad. Leave me down, doctor. Or is murder in Trinidad? Leave me down, doctor. Why say, he ain't trouble on you? Leave me down, doctor. Hey, where you do, you well do.
A pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Sing, sing.
And how are we doing this evening? I am here live and in living colors, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, the way how things shaping up, all this nigger business must stop. I tell you soon in the West Indies, is please, Mr. Nigger, please leave it down, doctor. And don't get me.
It is the final day of October.
There is murder in Trinidad. Leave it down, doctor.
Just a few more hours left.
He ain't trouble on you.
In a few,
yes,
we would get started. Pleasant good evening to everybody on my Facebook page. To the persons on my YouTube page, good evening to you also. So again, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good evening to you guys. And I want to say, I pray that every one of you guys would have had yourself a wonderful evening, a wonderful day thus far. I am happy to be back here and be part of the land of the living. To the persons over on my YouTube page, how are you guys doing this afternoon? I know I saw a few of you all would have already signed in. So a pleasant good afternoon to you guys over on my YouTube page. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me first and foremost apologize for my lateness. I would have really gotten transportation to get here on time. However, for the many of you all who might have experienced it, the traffic congestion on the southern side of the island is very much hectic. I would have gotten my transportation at 5:21, and I only just a few minutes ago would have reached my destination. All right, so the persons that are traveling on the south of the island are traversing from, not to, but from Moso, I would ask that you pay precautious measure to the vehicular traffic on the road. All right, to the many of you guys who I met and greet on Sunday out there at Cuthbert Peters Park, I want to say it was a pleasure to meet some of you guys, and I see the smiling faces of so many of our supporters, still having that hope, still holding that strength and understanding that it's not a long time again till we get back in there. All right. The rebound is going to be great, and I see many of you all, like you all are geared and ready for it. It was just mere jubilation and laughter and fun on Sunday. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it was an extremely good pleasure to have met, as I said, so many of you guys. It was nice. It was very much one of the atmospheres that have gone in the many mingles that we would have had. This one had a different energy. Yeah, somehow or the other, Sunday had a different energy. I mean, I visited the one at Grand Mall. I could recall the very first one that was held at Bathway, but Sunday felt a little bit more vibing. It felt more vibrant. You know, persons who really wanted to be out to finally get the opportunity to meet Mosquito Man and Sheldon and I, and even the different candidates, and maybe persons you would have met during the campaign that you didn't see for a lengthy period of time. You got the opportunity to see them on Sunday, and we want to say thank you so very much to the many of you all who turned out. And remember, we are NNP strong, full 100 every time. Whenever we're going, whatever we do, remain and stick to that color. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump straight into it. Now, I want to start with this, and funny enough, I started the conversation and planning, or I should say I started the planning since I left home. I did my jottings as to what I want to speak about prior to meeting the traffic congestion that I met on my way up. Now, I am still awaiting someone to explain to me what is the purpose thereof of the launching of our 50th anniversary of our independence. Now, ever so often when this administration plans something, the protocol and procedure, it is always controversial and it lacks understanding. And when you ask questions, it is hard to give answers. Now, more so, that is more fresh in my mind is the traffic congestion that I just faced, ladies and gentlemen. Now, there were actually persons that were traversing to and from the area, and because the vehicle that I came in was in communication with somebody behind me, and they were all the way over, wanting to go over to Springs, because so many congestions and the traffic lights are in rotation. Funny enough, the traffic lights are not on amber, they are in rotation, meaning that the traffic light is in operation, flowing as it's supposed to be. And then when you get up on the traffic light, there's an officer standing there. Now, to the little knowledge that I have, or having had experience before, when an officer is at the traffic light, they normally will place the traffic light on amber. Now, I believe the reason for the light tonight being in that condition is that the police does not have access to those traffic lights. Let me repeat that. The Royal Grenada Police Force does not have access to the traffic lights within the state of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. To my understanding, those light keys are at the Ministry of Works. Now, the Ministry of Works, who, with in collaboration with the government who is holding an event, don't you think that it is only right that communications be made with the RGPF on suggesting to them, or maybe the RGPF could have suggested to them that, hey, the probability exists that this is the heightened time in traffic. We're talking 4, 5 in the evening. Traffic is going to be, the carriage is going to be blocked. Persons are coming from work. Nobody saw it fit to suggest that the traffic lights be placed on amber and police officers at the junctions of those lights. I am certain that persons are going to sit for a lengthy period of time tonight in that traffic congestion. As I said, procedure, protocol. But all the other little stupid conversations on Facebook and other places, they're prompt. They're going to go onto everybody's comments or statuses and try to bring up a front, understanding that those are the things. Understanding that those are the things that are important. And Kala, I think by now, they understand what is going on this program here. By now, I think all of them understand the modus operandi, so they don't come. They have tried before, and even Sunday I mentioned it to somebody. Because they know normally when they come, as soon as they bring shoppiness to the class, immediately everybody is on them. Everybody is on them like white on rice. You understand me? At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, it goes, listen to me. The controversy that continues to surround this administration is not funny. Everything you do has to be so controversial. Everything that happens there is always an issue. There is always some untold truth to so many issues. We learned over the weekend as it relates to a vehicular accident, and not even jumping into what is the circumstances that causing the accident. But I have never heard so many government affiliated persons involved, from the Prime Minister's vehicle that bounced twice, to Mr. Ron Redhead, who imaginarily see two ladies, young ladies walking on the side of the road, to Minister Cornwall, who met up in an accident the other night. And at the end of the day, you are defensive on what people would suggest or what people would say. And you under comments, and the minute time they do some shoppiness and you start calling them out, they wonder your live balling about, they go sue and they hope they have money to sue. But and all you all were the ones, ladies and gentlemen. They were the ones. They were the ones that spoke as it relates to sue. Them that wanted sue, now they want to sue. Many controversial things that are happening within this administration. So we have known in recent months that the allegation as it relates to the spirituous liquor, intoxicated liquor, that is being consumed by the dear minister, would have been an allegation as it relates to your accident on Saturday night. The probability exists that what would have caused or contributed to the accident is that you could have been intoxicated. Nobody has no facts that to say, well, yes, you were doing it. But there were videos and so on that was made public. And in the video, you hear somebody saying, but yeah, he's a minister and so he getting on, or whatever the person said to that data. I cannot understand why these people continue to take the time and mess up and expect us on the other side to sit down there and congratulate them. Like, yeah, forget that. You all keep messing up. And at the end of the day, this is not something where we can't adjust. I'm coming to that. We cannot leave aside, because I was now getting to, I tell my students and then prompt like, oh, you're reading me mind here, you know. Because at the end of the day, we have no problem with whatever recreation you decide to do. But remember, one of the very first initiation of this administration was to include some $2,000 that would cover a driver for a minister of government. I remember this was one of the very first thing in terms of implementations, in terms of this administration having to or wanting to implement anything. They spoke as it relates to a $2,000. Now, at the end of the day, if the government of Grenada, somebody is not watching. I doubt he will. All right. So you would have introduced that $2,000. No, I am not expecting that every way the driver, the minister goes, the driver is expected to be there. We know that is not the culture here. But for that particular minister, I would suggest to his administration that they immediately get him a driver, because he loves to recreate. And maybe in the level of his consummation, he may take a little bit too much. And in circumstances where he take a little bit too much, person's veranda is going missing. Whenever he takes maybe a little bit too much, or maybe the light or the road condition is not adequate enough for him to drive, people just lose their veranda. Had the gentleman looking for his dog under the vehicle. So we're asking, how do we outline the process or the procedure as it relates to that $2,000 given? Is it mandatory that they take that driver, or is it mandatory that they... Yeah, go and look at the video. The gentleman was looking for one of his dog. He said, if my dog they below there, well, he mash up my dog no good again. Too many controversial things are surrounding this administration. Too many. Too many. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, the fact of the matter will continue to stand that whenever those things happen and they're called out upon, they have the notion or the belief that, hey, we go sue that person. No, my fingers would have fell on yeah, Master Carl, the dog no good again. That dog mash up. That dog turn a hot dog. that dog turn a hot dog. We we have to go and search for this dog. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, my viewing would have caused me to fall upon, Mr. Moudsweet. I heard Mr. Moudsweet make a statement in recent days, and hear what he said. And you see, sometimes you say things, and then you see, this is a gentleman that continues to say things and does not understand the concept as it relates to what the English language can normally cause you to get yourself involved in. Now, let me just play the clip and then let me bring you the downside to it. Hold on.
Ashamed of yourself.
Because the economy is improving. Even a locksmith could get a work these days, and things are going much better in the Grenadian economy.
Mr. Moudsweet says the economy is so good that a locksmith could get a work these days. Run ready, that is because people breaking people place. So many persons are breaking people place that locksmith are assisting them in changing locks. That is the reason why a locksmith is getting a job. Persons, the level of house breaking that are taking place in Grenada, Carriacou, and PD Martinique, my dear brother, you need locksmiths to get work now. It is expecting people breaking people place. So who you want give the work? Who you want get the work? I wonder if you understand what a locksmith is. I wonder if Mr. Reddit know what is a locksmith as he's been asked. Yes, locksmiths are getting work because he don't have work in the place. People breaking people place, and so persons are now more involved in changing the locks and including more. That is why they're getting the work, You making a statement so boldly in the House of Parliament as if you don't understand what a locksmith is. Because rightfully, a locksmith's job, the expectation of him being on a regular basis or being able to get a job on a regular basis is frightening. It means that persons are putting in more locks in their place. What is the purpose? Ask yourself that as a minister of government. Why are locksmiths getting more jobs now? Is it not that they want to include more locks? Sometimes I have the belief that this young man had a very tragic, youthful incident where at one point in time he fell straight on his head. It leads me to believe that sometime. But then again, this is coming from the Grenadian that spent the most year in SGU. This is coming from a gentleman that have had 3 scholarships at the St. George's University. This is coming from a gentleman when walked into one of his lecturer's class. His words was, "You again." This is a gentleman that has stayed on in SGU. That is the very first individual that stayed on in SGU. So we expect nothing more when it comes to your intellectual understanding and the educational level as it relates to assessing an economy. These gentlemen stayed on 4 times in SGU or more. These gentlemen have been in SGU since the clock on Church Street was a watch. You get big noise, a clock. That's how long these gentlemen have been in SGU. These gentlemen have seen more dean in SGU, in the faculties, different lecturers, more than any worker down there. These gentlemen in SGU face Ivan, Emily, and COVID-19. What do we expect from this individual? What do we expect? What else do we expect? And now he sits as a minister of government. What do we expect? Come and tell the Grenadian people, locksmith getting work now, that means the economy is... Locksmith is somebody that deals with the changing of locks and so on. The inclusion. Maybe the changing. Sometimes, in few cases, some of them have been called upon to open places. Speaking bare nonsense and making comparison that lacks any meat, any suck up substance. Can't tell me this gentleman come and speaking this kind of thing. Telling you, put out the guy. They be putting out the guy. They're trying to put out the guy outside of SGU. Put the guy out of SGU. The man is in SGU more than the boss. And them down there. Years now. Come here talking stupidness about persons are the economy is booming because locksmith getting work. So you don't see this guy had a tragic incident in his growth. He fall on his head. There's a comparison to make. Yeah. I mean, come on, man. Listen to these guys and them. You just go and drop back your subjects or whatever certification you have because you want to tell the doctor or the teacher. They trick you. Because with these guys and them in office, you at this stage, knowing that you are more intelligent than them, you're supposed to just walk into some ministry and tell them, listen to me, I come here to be the chief medical officer. Because the persons that are more educated, more certified, more qualified than these people and them that sits sometimes in the parliament and talk this nonsense. People are on the ground every day. You sent home thousands of people. Thousands of people were sent home. Where did they gain that job employment that you come in and tell the Grenadian people that you have a status that says the economy, the unemployment rate in Grenada has gone down? So somebody stupid? Thousands of persons was unemployed, sent home. Thousands of people within a year, 6 months. So you saying to me that at least 80% of these persons have regained jobs already? Hey. Well, me that do tish. I am the one that is not walking around the place every day. And as Dr. Mitchell said, they're too much in the cloud. They up there. They up there so much that they doesn't come down here at all. So much that they're up there that they doesn't come down there at all. How can you say to the unit the economy is booming and unemployment has dropped? Where? Where has it dropped? In what sector has increased? Has it increased? Public servants and so on, and persons affiliated with jobs in the government was sent home. Check the amount of persons that was sent home. That sector alone, within the government entities, the persons that did security and the persons that was in other places, sanitization and so on, more than 500 persons or more within that scope alone was sent home. You telling me that 300 or 400 persons would have gotten gotten jobs already? Analysis being asked, how much jobs was created? How many? Are you trying to make people feel like if they stupid? That is the point you and that's the thing, you know. That's the thing about them. They keep trying to make people believe as if we weren't there. Like you know, the belief to these people is like the persons that are here now watching these people govern before June 23rd. We were never here. We just reached here. We just got here. So we don't know this. We have a clue not of what this person said before. Nothing. Now I want you to listen to one of the callers and as she explain much more as it relates to what I'm speaking about here today.
There was an elderly lady that signed in for bathroom and toilet. The lady had 3 mild strokes. And everything was approved before election. And, well, they called me because I work on behalf of her, right? Sometime in September, they called and said to me, you busy? I said, not really. You could go and pick up some sand and gravels now, but make sure you tell the lady she had to pay the transport for the thing. So I went and I tell her, she said, okay, she go try she best. She did send and get the gravels and the sand. A big shower rain came down, I think, somewhere in September too. Half of the sand gone. But I keep calling and say, well, okay, when you go come and do the lady had treatment, so you cannot go down where she has the bathroom entirely because she's falling down every minute. He said to me, okay, I'll call you. We'll go pick up the material in Hope. Mr. Shaggy, not knowing yesterday, well, the lady always tell me find out for her. So I call. When I call, they said to me, oh, she cannot get no thing again. She's supposed to get the material now from Hope, like the toilet and whatever, you know, because she had the blocks, she had the sand, she had the gravel. Oh, it stopped the program. About, oh my God. Just so I say to Mr. Don, that is not nice. Let me tell you something. I don't really follow politics, eh? But Mr. Don, for what I've seen, I'm calling from St. Patrick, I'm afraid to say, things real hard. And this government, not here, I don't even want to say, before election.
Sorry about that. It went on as it relates to what she was speaking about. I'm sorry I didn't get the entire clip. Right? Now, with one individual speaking from the St. Patrick's area. And basically commenting on her experience, personal experience. This is not something she's just speculating. This is a personal experience. This is something that she went through. Now, ladies and gentlemen, how many other constituencies have you heard that same song being sung? How many other constituencies have we heard this same issue being repeated over and over and over again? So many persons are calling on the different representatives, asking for them, seeking to find out where can I go to get assistance for this? Whom can I speak to? The fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, we understand that they're inexperienced. But you see, they don't even copy in. Even if they want to speak of the Maurice Bishop and the who, and they are not even copying from those persons and understanding what politics entails. When a prime minister of a nation can stand before a 50th independence and say to its people that there has been nothing in this Grenada to celebrate 50 years for, when he came in the same breath during an election and said to the Grenadian people, he is a successful lawyer. My question is, brother, your success came from where? And whence did it came from? And from whom administration were you exalting such praise? So for 50 years, nothing was happening in Grenada. But your success as a lawyer, you didn't live and go in England. You didn't live and go in the United States or any other country, international country, and boast of your success. With nothing to speak of, within 50 years as an independent nation, you can boast to the Grenadian people that you have been a successful lawyer. My question to you, dear Prime Minister, in which manner of administrative instruction or politics in Grenada was your success exalted from? I wonder who was in power that you didn't want to leave Grenada and go and practice anywhere else. But you remain in a country where absolutely nothing was happening. Nothing has been happening. But you can boast to our Grenadian people that you are a successful lawyer. You see, when all you start to contradict all yourself, or just forget. So nothing has happened in Grenada within 50 years. But you, a young man, can boast throughout the world that he make money, and your government, your firm with the CBI program was booming, but you didn't go anywhere. You didn't go and celebrate Independence Day in England or in the United States or in Russia or in Ethiopia. You remain here. You remained in Grenada with nothing being done from since 1974 to date. But between that same time, in that same place, you have become a successful lawyer. The level of contradiction that you all seems to sometime brag about, it does come back and bite all you in the butt. Because before becoming Prime Minister of Grenada, Carriacou and Petite Martinique, he was driving a nice vehicle, lovely house, all on this little rock. All obtained on this little rock. You weren't one of them that ran away and go and look for success. You found success here. And if the avenue was not being created by an administration that was in power, then I am of the goddamn hell belief that you would not have been seen remain a Grenadian. So if you were being unsuccessful and remain here, I ask myself the question, all the boastfulness as it relates to being a successful lawyer, I wonder where did these accolades come from? Whence was it obtained? See, I tell all you, they just talk. Whenever they think and they want to say something, they just say something. Young politician. And you're exhibiting to the rest of the world, you see nothing happening here. Go in different places. I am from Victoria in St. Mark's. And I can say to you, there were times in the night when you and your little brother, your little sister walking the road, and you put your hand out in front of you and you could not see where you're going. Places you walk home, sometimes you have to put a slippers in your foot, because if you have a little high heel, you can't pass in certain places, or a little nice shoe. Certain places where persons you to have to use a water boots to get to the main road, because the roads that they were using before was filled with mud. Areas, as I mentioned, where persons were scared to pass, that are now lit. And as I said, I'm from St. Mark's. Grew up in a time in St. Mark's where we could talk about only 2 doctors. Today, the parliamentary representative is one of them. 2 doctors. Today, as I said, the parliamentary representative is one of them. And maybe about 3 or so nurses. Now we can speak in St. Mark's as it relates to about 4 to 5 young doctors. number of nurses, a brand new medical center, a daycare center. We can speak about a library. Every school in St. Mark's has been upgraded. Every single one of them. The farm road projects. Different, all where my father used to afraid to go. Sometimes we have to tie the donkey so far. Because if rainfall, we can cross certain rivers and certain places. And many other places throughout the length and breadth of Grenada can say to you the upgrade and the success some of these places have seen. And you sit as a Prime Minister and say, nothing have happened in Grenada in 50 years. Every young individual to date can sit at the Kirani James Stadium or anywhere else, and on television before we could have seen the Morris Green and the Who, and they were right in our backyard. They were right in our backyard, right here. All the international artists that we used to hear about, they're right here now in our backyard. And you sit and you say nothing in 50 years, and tonight you tell Grenadian people, come on the Carnage, we're launching for the 50th. What you said tonight for you is the first year, because nothing happened in 50 years. So this year to you should be the first year of independence launching. Because in 50 years, in 49 years, sorry, I should correct myself. In 49 years, nothing has happened. So to you tonight is February 7th, 1974. That is what it is to you, because 49 years ago, to every administration, to every leader, to every individual who gave to the development of Grenada, you debunked them and said nothing has happened. To the many persons who made contributions, you spoke about contributions when it comes to pension payment, and so on and so forth. You make that sound nice. But to every person from 1974 to date, you debunked them, you disrespected them by saying to them you have never seen nothing happening. The many persons within that 50 years, within every sector of Grenada, Carrick-on, Pidimardnik, who have brought success to this nation, and then you tell us on the 19th, you have a Heroes Day. And then you come and you bring a few people in the stadium because that day you just didn't want to go to work. So you bring a few people in the stadium, and then you line, and then in the night you give them a 2 minutes again, and then you're gone. Everything for you is a fete. A fetish government. To fetish. Everything for you is some glamour. You launching independence launch on a weekday, Tuesday to be precise. Nothing giving consideration to people who would have worked hard during the day and have to get home tonight. Some persons reaching to work late, from home, late. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, these are the things you measure these people on. Go ahead. Don't afraid. Measure them on it. Tell them about it. How many young people would be able to get that to get that spectacle? How many persons who were there from since independence in 1974 would be able to get that spectacle? Many persons want to run home and get a rest. You debunk this. And then you come back and you give $77 million towards it. Bunch of hypocrites. You all are a bunch of hypocrites. That's what you have to call them out. You don't have to afraid to say that. Bunch of hypocrites. That's what you all are. You debunk this. That's not good. 49 years. What happened? What you see? What you see? But you could give up the Prime Minister's residence and take residence in a nice big place. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. The level of pettiness that is always mentioned about with this administration is frightening sometimes. The level of pettiness. Because at the end of the day, it is always going to be this. When you call them out on their problems, they get defensive. And the thing about it, somebody called me today and they say, Prince, watch, the sea giving real trouble down here. They say the sea, the tide on the Carnage high. I don't vex with the tide. I don't vex with the tide. God don't sleep. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Now, at the end of the day, you guys would know that I would have to cut certain things short. But I have to give certain things. And I'm going on number 10. Let me tell you why I'm going on number 10. If it was money at the beginning, I am sure at this stage, this woman have just realized that she made a complete fool of herself. If the initial stage was to go there and just, let me just go to man, I don't think already, I'm just going for the money. If that was the intention initially, I can say to you guys at this stage, it comes with a great regret in so many forms. Over the weekend, I decided I was going to go through the Parliament. I was doing some little shows and I decided I'm going to listen to the recap of the Parliament. And I listened to the deliberation as it relates to the housing conversation. And I believe that at one point, the other members believed to themselves that she was still sitting on the other side. The things that was uttered with the person responsible for all the ills that you're calling out sits on your side of the table, not even cushioning or shading or trying to cover it up in any kind of nice way. And this lady sits there and gives a table knock. I am listening to the uttering of disrespectful things being said directly to this individual's ministry that she held. And it jotted me when she mentioned that her name was being dragged through the mud and her reputation as an individual was being downgraded by the new National Party and their leadership. And that was of no publicity. All what you said was allegations. You hear and what is being said. But you sit in the House of Parliament with your colleagues saying to you, hey, where you was there, what you was doing was shoppiness. And where you come out, which is the new National Party, echo the sentiment that you were one of the hardest working ministers among every ministry. You left with one of the best references, saying to the Grenadian people, this woman was a stalwart. And now you go on the other side where you would have believed that you would have been exalted a little more. And you sit in the House of Parliament and they say, hey, you see that housing project? That was shoppiness. You were making mess. What you were doing, they weren't making any sense. In a nutshell, that's what they were saying to you. And you sit there as if your ears there on mute. And you knock the table. A man is saying to you, hey, the place where you used to live, they nasty. Hey, what you give me there no good at all. What foolishness you do there. And then you clap. If I have never seen or heard disrespectfulness uttered before in the presence of someone, I heard it on Sunday in the recapping of the House of Parliament. And the dear minister sits there and knocks the table. Table knock. Table knock, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody look at somebody's gesture. Somebody say, I missed the start of the program. I was in traffic jam for 2 hours. I love you, the joke I'm making. Bad. Ladies and gentlemen, I will continue to utter the sentiment to you guys that I think it is only fitting at this stage to say this, and let me say it with no regret. Go get registered. Take my foolish advice. Go get registered. For there would be an uprising in this place. For the amount of disgruntled people who casted their ballot for this administration, who is now annoyed at themselves and annoyed at the decision that they make. Go get registered. Go get registered. Because when he boss, he go well boss. Take my foolish advice. Go get registered. Get your kids who would be eligible to vote for the next election. Go get them registered. There is an uprising that will take place in the state of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. And we would not even be ready for it for ourselves. And it's nothing that would bring violence or anything like that. Doughty would do that. These persons are going to bust their own coxile, as old people will say. They are going to self-destruct. They are on the path to self-destructing. Because today, the idea of politics is that let's just do this. Let's do this. Let me deface that. Let me don't do that. That's what NMP used to do. So we don't do that. So, and if you're going to choose that as your leadership concept, then Papa, it is going to get worse. So go get registered. We would continue our mingling. I know there are many persons who would be aware as it relates to the groundwork that is already being done, right? And in coming months and so on, information and gathering and information of mingling. Let's get our people back, right? 2 years is probation. And I think we have accepted the fact that we have fallen short in our past election campaign. And so I am certain that there are going to be persons that are going to work harder. There are many persons I know that are going to work harder this upcoming election than the last one. So if you were laid back in canvassing and campaigning, we're going to change that. 2 years, we just so much more months from that. A few more. Not long, they read them. They don't business about it, they forget the time. When 2024 hit, we are going to take a serious charge towards getting persons registered. The rebound is going to be great. The rebound is going to be great, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So to the many events that are upcoming, I want to say to the persons out there in New York City, you got Fish Fry fundraiser coming up, the Carriacou Petit Martinique New York chapter. They're doing that on the 18th of November, so go be a part of that. Music by DJ Gemini. You can call Nisha on 347-683-1997 or Jacinta on 917-615-4918 or Wilson on 917-754-1319. And don't forget to check out Mr. Grill International out there in Carriacou. To the persons out there in Carriacou, honestly, pleasant good evening to you. I'm getting ready for my time of the year. That would be Carriacou Carnival. I don't miss this for the world. I always try to get to Carriacou on the time that they're celebrating their carnival. And don't forget to check out G-Buggers. They're located on Wall Street in St. George's. So don't forget to be a part of that. Somebody saying let them stay there here and find out how long humans can go without food. All right. This one here, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the events that would be happening out there in New York also. So go be a part of it. Make sure that I get it to run on the song.
Brooklyn, New York, get ready as New Face, Maggi and Hall presents Bottle and Buckets. Going down on Saturday, November 11th at 409 Maple Street, Brooklyn, New York. Featuring DJ Magician, DJ Synergy, Naughty Vibes, and DJ Silence. You must be 21 and over. Drunk is the code. Bottle package is available. For more info, contact 347-304-5453. Bottle and Buckets. I don't care what time of day. This is drinking BAB. Get your advance $30 tickets now, or you pay more. Bottle and Buckets, Saturday, November 11th. Be there.
All right, so the persons out there in New York, you can be a part of this. I know we had a very, very short time in class today. I don't think that we would have gotten to the hour. But however, we got to make way for the next program that will be up on Hard Talk. Talking Point, sorry. We have so much. Talking Point with Brother Sheldon Scott. So we got to make way for this. However, I am going to do the extra tomorrow. I'm going to be earlier tomorrow. So I'll try to start the program a little earlier than usual tomorrow. Please allow to make up for today. Really, it was no circumstances of mine. But however, I want to ensure that I treat you all to all the information. I even caught some of the information that I really had to disseminate today. Right? So, however, tomorrow we would be here again. To the persons over on my YouTube page, I want to say again, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be a part of your evening and continue to be a part of mine. All right. So God's blessings to each and every one of you. You have yourself a wonderful evening. To the many of you all that might be going to the car, and I just do enjoy. All right. So God's blessings again to each and every one of you. And we will see you again tomorrow evening at 6. All right.
All of them that give in the verdict about the doctor getting me sick. I don't know why they wouldn't mind the stinking business. Leave the man in peace. I say, leave the damn doctor. Look, don't get me mad. Leave the damn doctor. Vices or his murder in Trinidad. Leave the damn doctor. He ain't trouble on you. Leave the damn doctor. Where do you do? Leave the damn doctor. Where you vices? Yes, the other party is there. They can't handle their own affair. They're stumbling with all the plan. Still they're harassing the blasted man. I say, leave me damn doctor. And don't get me mad. Leave me damn doctor. Way, or his murder in Trinidad. Leave me damn doctor. He ain't trouble on you. Leave me damn doctor. Way, or his murder in Trinidad. Way. They're making so much confusion, but race riot in England. They should kick them from Scotland Yard. We have the same question in Trinidad. I say, leave me down, doctor. And don't get me mad. Leave me down, doctor. It's murder in Trinidad. Leave me down, doctor. Why say, he ain't trouble on you. Leave me down, doctor. Hey, where you doing? Well, do. Leave me down, doctor. Sing, sing. Well, the way how things shaping up, all this nigger business must stop. I tell you soon in the West Indies, it's please, Mr. Nigger, please leave it down, doctor. And don't get me mad. Leave it